two types of instances we have discussed here, default and named instances, right? Yes. So default instance is the one whose name is equal to what? System name. And remember, always default instance service name is MS SQL Server. Okay, SQL Server in bracket. If you see MS SQL Server, it is a default instance. Whereas named instance is it. Check here for named instance. It is SQL Server in bracket. We have instance name. Check here in our machine. In my machine, for example, we can see whether default instance is there or not in a machine. We can go to here services.msc. See, right? Services.msc. Okay. So here we can check. Click somewhere. Press yes. Okay. SQL Server. Here we can check here what are the instances are there. If you see here, see SQL Server in bracket MS SQL Server. Okay. It's meaning that it is a default instance. Okay. Right. But see for other instances here in bracket we have some name is it. Okay. It's meaning that it is a named instance. Let's see like a default instance is it. These are what named instances. Already we have seen in the last class. So we have only one default instance per machine. Means we can have total 50 instances, right? So one default instance, remaining named instances. Already we have seen in real time, generally in one machine, we are maintaining one instance. Okay. So generally one machine means it is a virtual machine in general. Today's here, like we are not using physical machines actually. These are virtual machines. Okay, so in each machine, we have what? Only one instance. In each machine, we have one instance. And already I have said in real time, in each machine, we have one instance. Which type of instance? Default instance. Okay. So in the same machine, if you want one more instance, for example, then we are going with named instance. Otherwise, no need of named instance. Okay, right. Okay, check here before going to see the custom installation, means how we are doing installation in real time. So what are the instance, what is the instance summary we'll see, means what are the major components of every instance. Major components of every instance here, instance summary. Check here. See here, every instance has its own services. Okay. We have seen already, like we have four in general here, every instance has its own services. Here, what are the main services are there? SQL Server agent, right? These two are our main services. We know that SQL Server will process the user queries. Means SQL Server process what this service will process. This service processes user queries, whereas agent is for what purpose? Agent is for automation, right? all the scheduled activities are implemented by agent service. Right. In the same way, every instance has here its own folders. Folders means whenever we install SQL Server, in general, 8 subfolders are created. Okay, but previous day we have seen basic installation, right? Yes. Then remember, as part of basic installation, only remember 6 folders are created. Check here what are the folders. We'll see. I will connect to my instance. Okay. Mhm, mhm. This is your last. We have created one instance. Connect to the instance. Right click properties here. Here see root directory. Root directory is it? Nothing but this is the instance path. Okay. Yeah, means in which path we have installed SQL Server. We can check here in the root directory. Okay, copy this, go to run, paste. Okay, yeah, check here. Basic installation we have done right in the previous class. We can see 6 subfolders here. But if I do custom installation, where we'll select some total database engine services custom installation. So in that case, remember, we can see 8 subfolders, 2 more subfolders. Okay, right. This is a default path we have seen. C program files, Microsoft SQL Server, MS SQL 15.15 means 2019 version, right? MS SQL Server 03. This is the instance name. Okay. Under that MS SQL, under that subfolders are there. Okay. Right. Check here. Backup is a default folder for backups. Means what? Whenever we are taking backup of database, automatically the backups are written into this folder. Okay, check here. For example, I will take a new query. Just here for testing purpose, I will take backup of database. We'll see. By default, that backup is recorded or stored in which folder? Backup folder. See here. We'll see that later. Backup is basically nothing but what? Copy of a database. Means what? To provide security for database data, compulsory we need what? Backups. See here, backup database name, any database. To disk is equal to some file name. See, this file is created in which path? This default folder, backup folder. Okay, so actually see, we have not mentioned like C drive or E drive or F drive complete path, right? Just a file name I am mentioning. That's why remember this file is created in which folder? Backup folder. See, success. If I go to backup folder, first one. Okay, yeah. See here, file is there. Okay, so msdb.bak. That is it. That's why default folder for backups is what? Backup. But we can change, actually, we can mention some different location also. In general, sir, while installation itself, we can change. Otherwise, by taking instance properties, database settings, here we can change. Backup location, we can change. Right now it is which folder? Backup. But we can create one new folder somewhere. Browse. Let's say I want to make this folder dbackups1 as backup folder. Okay. Okay. See here, I have changed here. Okay. Now if I run the same command, now remember this file is created into which folder? Dbackups1. See here. Yeah, first ones here. Okay, like this here we can customize the path also, in which path we need to maintain the backup. See, just now it is generated. So here UAE local time, right now it is 6:20, for example. Okay, so in IST we have 7:50, 1.5 hour actually difference. Right. Okay. Like this is like how we can, yes, how we can check the what is the default folder for backup is what? Backup. Okay. Go to see next one. Say bin folder is it? Binaries folder. Basically, remember this bin folder consists of all our SQL Server binaries. Okay. Yes, means what? SQL Server exe and DLL files are there in bin folder. Okay, exe and DLL files means like actual logic. Okay, how SQL Server internally working. That logic is there in bin folder, binaries folder. That's why we are not going to touch this folder. Okay, in general, remember this bin and install are software folders. So these folders we are not going to touch. Okay, right. So next one said data folder is an important folder. So here our database files are there. Means whenever we create a new database or whenever we restore a database, okay, or attach, automatically remember these database files are created in which folder? Data folder. Previously, we have seen briefly, every database has two files here in SQL Server. Every database has its own files, two files, okay, by default. Data file and transaction log file, okay. In Oracle, we have redo log files. Here we have transaction log files. Okay, those files are created in which folder? Data folder. I think everyone is following, right? If any queries are there, please type in the chat panel. It is clear. Mithila, Karthik, Irfan, any questions are there, Rafi? Any questions are there? Please type in the chat panel if any simple doubts are there. Okay, no need to worry. Okay, if you are not typing the doubts, it's meaning that you are following. Okay, otherwise we have to type. Yeah, if any questions are there, feel free to type. Right. Okay, this is a data folder. For example, say just for testing purpose, I will create one new database, SQLDB. SQLDB database is ready. Okay. Okay. Check here if I go to data folder. Here, see, we can see that, yeah, yeah. Check here. This is our log file. This is our, check here. Two files are there actually. Data file and log files are there. Two files are there here. This is our SQL Server primary data file, means actually it is a data file, and here see SQLDBA underscore log. This is our transaction log file. Okay, every database has two files by default. Right. So that is it. Data is our default folder for database files. Data. Then already we have seen install folder consists of some installation scripts. Okay. Jobs folder consists of say, jobs and maintenance plan. Means already we have seen for automation, means to automate the tasks here. We can use this here see under SQL Server agent. We have jobs option is it. Okay, so we can create the jobs actually to schedule what backups everything. Okay, so here see jobs option is it, log folder is it. Log folder consists of say all the error logs here, important folder. See error logs maintains your errors actually, means whenever there is a runtime error in SQL Server, means suppose let's say tomorrow like backup fail, log shipping fail, mirroring fail, index rebuilding fail. Okay, anything happen, remember first step is what we have to check the error log. Okay, anything happen in SQL Server, first step is checking the error log. Okay, in error log, SQL Server will write very clear message. Very clear message. So depends on that message. Depends on that error message, we can plan for troubleshooting. Okay, right. That's one very, very important. We have to understand. First step here, anything happen, first step is checking the error log. Okay, yes. First one's here like error log is it. Next we have error log 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, in detail we'll discuss about error logs, but remember always first we have to see this current error log. If I double click on this current error log, open with Notepad, we can see here. See, means not only errors, information is also recorded here. Some information is also recorded. Okay, right. Only error log will save if transaction success. That log will also save. No. Here see like means like both I'm saying means like some 10 to 15% in messages information is recorded. For example, just now backup success, right? So backup success details also recorded here. Okay, so that's remember 10 to 15% information is recorded plus yeah, errors 100% errors are recorded. Okay, name is error log, but information is also there here. Okay, right. Check here at the beginning we have server startup events. See, on 27th, 12, 13, we have restarted this server, for example. So complete details are there. Means first information it has recorded. Then see here, it has recorded the errors also. See here, if any error is there, what is the error number is there, then description is there here. Login failed for the user, some username. Like this here, we can see here complete yeah, errors plus information. Just now remember backup we have taken, right? It has recorded here. Backup database successfully processed. Okay, right. We'll talk about in detail about this error log, which is very, very important for us. Right, 1 second. Right. Okay. Yeah. This is what is error log, how we can open. But these logs are there. Some other logs are there. Say error log 1, 2, 3, 4. These logs maintains your old events. Old events. Okay. These logs maintains what old events. Means like generally remember whenever we restart SQL Server, whenever we restart SQL Server, remember these logs are created. Okay, logs are created. Means what? Yeah, current log. Remember, current log events are flushed. Current log events are flushed into error log 1. Current log becomes empty. Whenever we restart SQL Server, remember, current log events are flushed into error log 1. It becomes empty. Okay, then we have error log means current log events are there in error log 1. Error log 1 events are flushed into 2. Like this, like automatically flushing will happen whenever we restart SQL Server. Okay, right. Okay. Next is this. Yeah. So means we'll see how what is there in these logs. But already I have discussed error log 1 maintains what? Yeah, sorry, error log is the current events are there in this error log. Current events. Okay, means what? Once we restart SQL Server will start writing into this current log till we restart. Till we restart, events are recorded in this current log. Okay. Yes. So once we restart, already we have seen this current log events are flushed into error log 1. Current log events are flushed into error log 1 once we restart SQL Server. Okay, right. Okay, then, okay, some other folders are there here. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, this is log folder. Yes, these are the six subfolders are there here by default. But whenever we install some features called replication, okay, one more feature is the replication, uh, full text filter. Some other okay features are there. If we install those features, then remember, yeah, we'll get two more subfolders. Means totally eight actually, but at the time of if we are going with default installation, only six folders are created. Okay, with the default installation, only six folders are created. Right, right. Okay. These are see like yeah folders, or we can say directory architecture of SQL Server. What folders are created in the backend, and what is the purpose of each folder? Then we have seen every instance has here its own system databases. Its own system databases. Just remember, like system databases maintains what? It's metadata. Means instance metadata is there in what? System databases. Okay. Every instance has its own metadata. Means what? Like in this instance, how many databases are there? Okay. On which database what feature is there? That information is there in which databases? System databases. Okay. Yes. So just remember instance metadata. Instance metadata is there in system databases. Clear, right? Instance metadata means what? In this instance means in this server, how many databases are there? Okay. So on which database log shipping is there? On which database mirroring is there? That metadata, that instance metadata is there in system databases. Okay, right, right. Okay, that's like yeah, system databases are important for us. System databases are important for us, which maintains what? Instance metadata. Instance metadata. Clear, right? So we'll see again what is exactly metadata. Already have said like this one, server details, backup details, all these are there in yeah, system databases. By default, sir, whenever we install SQL Server, automatically 5 system databases are created. Whenever we install SQL Server, automatically 5 system databases are created. Okay, yeah, which maintains what? Instance metadata. These system databases maintains what? Instance metadata. Okay, yes, Right, right. Okay. This is like yeah, instance. Yeah, check it. By default, we have 5 system databases are created: master, model, MSDB, TempDB, resource. By default, sir, whenever we install SQL Server, automatically 5 system databases are created automatically. Clear, right? Yes. Okay. These databases maintains what? Metadata we have seen. Instance metadata is there in these system databases. Okay. Master is our main database here, which is a startup database of SQL Server. Means whenever we start SQL Server, whenever we start SQL Server will go to master. Okay, so it will take all the settings, means instance name, instance ID, all those details it will take. Okay, so after taking those details, instance ID, instance name, everything, then it starts. It will start the server. Server is started. Okay, after taking what metadata, server is started. Okay, right. Okay. In the same way, like second one say like MS means all the database details. Okay. What is the instance name, instance ID? In this instance, how many databases are there? Okay. That information is there in this master database. Okay, always already have you know whenever we restart SQL Server, whenever we start SQL Server is started with this system databases. Okay, right, master database. That's why tomorrow, if master database is corrupted, remember SQL Server cannot be started. SQL Server cannot be started here if master database is corrupted. Clear, right? Yes. Okay. Then model MSDB database is it? MSDB database, remember, maintains total automation information. Automation information means what? If you want to automate anything, that information is there in MSDB database. MSDB maintains what? Total automation information. Means we have seen this jobs, okay, alerts, everything are there in MSDB database. MSDB database. Okay. Yeah, log shipping details all are there in MSDB database. Right, right. Okay. Then next one say like model database is it. Model database is a template for new databases. It is a template for new databases. Okay. Model database is what? Template for new databases. Means what? Whenever we create a new database, SQL Server will go to what? Model. It will take all the settings. Okay. Then it is created. It takes what? All the settings from model. Then the database is created. That's why, yeah, whenever we create a new database, what is the database size? Okay, so what objects are created in the database? It depends on the yeah, this model database, right? Okay, model database is a template for new databases. Clear, right? Model database is a template for new databases here. Okay, right, right. Okay, that's remember like then TempDB database is it? TempDB database maintains remember total automation information. Total automation information is it in sorry. TempDB maintains what? Temporary objects. Okay, temporary objects here. Okay, right, right. So, okay, uh, means what? Like temporary tables, temporary stored procedures. The process of sorting, grouping, joining, reindexing, all these are maintained here in TempDB database. Okay, all the temporary objects. So same thing, remember, TempDB is like our system's RAM. Means what? Whenever we restart SQL Server, whenever we restart SQL Server, automatically remember like TempDB is cleared. TempDB is cleared here automatically. Automatically, TempDB is cleared. Okay, right. So means what? Like uh, uh, check here whenever we restart SQL Server. Already we have seen server startup events are recorded in error log or not recorded, right? So check here SP read error log. We can see here when the server was restarted in general. Check here starting TempDB. Okay, so okay, yeah. So basically, say like it has 8 data files. It is saying in general, remember before starting, it will clear actually. It's actually have done something recycling for this instance, but if I restart here, it will clear TempDB database. Whenever we restart SQL Server, automatically remember TempDB is cleared automatically. Okay, check here. Now, if I read the same error log, yeah, here's clearing TempDB database. I mean, that's remember whenever we restart SQL Server. Okay, so SQL Server will clear what TempDB automatically. Means always it is started with fresh TempDB. Okay, so that's why just remember like TempDB is like our system's RAM. Whenever we restart SQL Server, automatically it is recorded, right? Means RAM is cleared, right? Same thing here also. Remember, TempDB is cleared automatically. Means what? Whenever we run, whenever the user runs the process like sorting, grouping, joining, reindexing, all those activities are recorded here in TempDB database. Okay. Yeah. Whenever the user creates a temporary table, okay, all are taking space in TempDB. And just now we have seen whenever we restart SQL Server, all these are cleared. Means what? We need to take a, TempDB backup, or no need to take TempDB backup. Backup is required. TempDB backup is required or not required? Sridhar, Sai. Backup, we have seen one copy to provide security. No need, right? Yeah. No need to take what? TempDB backup. Why? Because temporary objects are there. Yeah, correct. Instance restarting or system restarts either. Okay. So that's when the temporary objects are the temporary tables. Okay. That's why we are not going to take backup of TempDB database. Generally, we can't take also. TempDB backup we can't take. Okay. Why? Because all the temporary objects are there. Temporary objects are there. Right. Okay. Next is like one database is a resource database is there, which is a hidden database. Means what? Here see, whenever we apply the patches actually. Okay. So those patch details are there in resource database. Patches information is there in resource database, which is a hidden database. Okay, right, right. These are see every instance. Remember, by default, whenever we install SQL Server, whenever we install SQL Server, automatically these databases are created. Okay, we are not going to create manually. Automatically, these are created. Okay, right, right. Okay. Next one say like error logs. Already we have discussed, right? Every instance has its own error logs. Every instance has its own error logs. Okay, right. Means what? We have seen all the events are recorded in what? Error logs, both success plus failure, right? Yes, yes. Okay. That is like, yeah, what is recorded in what? Error log. We have seen. We can go to log folder. We have discussed already. We can open the logs as well as SP read error log, right? SP read error log. These are like how we can read the error logs. Okay. Yeah, these are the five main properties of every instance which we have to understand. Okay, 5 main properties. Okay, clear it is. Any doubts are there? Please type if any doubts are there. Means what? By default, remember every instance has these events actually by default. These main components are there in every instance, okay, which we have to understand as a DBA. Any doubts are there? Chakri, Irfan, Karthik, Mithila, any doubts are there? Are clear? This what is these major components of every instance? Right. Okay. Okay then. Yeah. We'll start with installation. Before that, sir, what are the system requirements are there, sir, to start installation? Very basic requirements are there. Very basic system requirements are there, sir, to install and configure SQL Server. Okay, basic requirements. Okay. First one say like OS say Windows 10 or any higher version. In general, remember in local machine in our laptop we are going with Windows 10. Okay, Windows 10 or something. But in production, remember we can't use Windows 10 or Windows 7. In production, we are going to install this. Uh, we have like server operating system, okay, server OS in production. Okay, in production we have server OS. Clear, right? Yes, we don't have Windows 10 actually in production server. Right, right. Okay. Next one said memory like at least 4 GB. But in general, like we have like multiple, yeah, we need at least 1 2 GB is enough actually. But in production, we need what? At least 4 GB. Then check it like CPUs here at least 2.0 gigahertz. See, all these are very basic things, right? All these are very basic things. Generally, in every machine, we have these. Yes. Okay. Check here, like in the same way, like hard disks here, 4 GB are up to 2014, we need 4 GB, but from 2016 onwards, here 8 GB. 8 GB from 16 onwards. Okay. Right. Okay. Then say only for database engine we need what 14 or 1500 MB. Say only for engine, only for DB engine. Okay. But for all the features, DB engine, IS, RAS, CAS, we need this 6 GB for complete installation. Okay, but mostly we'll install database engine only our database server only. For that purpose, we need this 1500 MB say approximately. Okay, right, right. Okay, these are still like very basic prerequisites are there. SQL native client is required. By default, it is installed automatically. No need to install separately. Basically, to establish connectivity between our SQL server and application server, we have this native client. Then say Windows PowerShell is required. PowerShell also comes along with OS. Okay, no need to perform anything. Windows PowerShell. Then .NET framework is required. It also comes along with OS. Okay, just we have to ask our Windows team to enable this framework, this option. Just what they will enable actually, right? So in the same way, like setup support files, setup support files are installed by default in system drive. Once the setup is completed, these are deleted automatically. These are deleted automatically, and some Windows services are required. By default, we have these Windows services. Okay, right, right. Okay, these are still like we can understand here, like yeah, when will what are the basic prerequisites are there to install and configure SQL Server. Okay, we have very simple prerequisites actually. Right. What we'll do, like, we'll start installation again. I will show you custom installation again in our next session. Okay. So from here, we'll continue. Right.